All right, let's just jump right in. For the last couple of hundred years, we've been playing by a set of economic rules we all kind of thought were permanent, set in stone. But what if I told you those rules are being completely torn up and rewritten? Right now, as we speak. And this isn't some minor update or a patch. No, this is a guide to a whole new world.
And we're not easing into this. The author of the work we're looking at, Imad Mustaq, just lays it out there with zero sugarcoating. Look, this isn't about your career. It's not about your current job. We are talking about your entire economic relevance as a human being. It's a heck of a warning. And yeah, it's aimed right at us.
So, how much time are we talking about here? The number on the screen is 1,000 days. Now hold on, this isn't some doomsday clock counting down to an apocalypse. Not at all. It's more like a window. A window of opportunity we have left to make some real, meaningful choices about our future before the path we're on just kind of locks into place. Think of it as a deadline, sure, but it's a deadline for a decision, not for the end of the world. And here's why that window matters so much. For years we've all heard about the technological singularity, right? That sci-fi moment when AI gets smarter than all of us. Well, the argument here is that we're completely missing the bigger picture. We are hurtling toward a socioeconomic singularity, way sooner than that. The very systems that hold our society together, money, work, even our sense of purpose, are starting to crack under the pressure. They're about to shatter.
I mean, just look at this. This slide lays out the disconnect perfectly. On one side, you've got the official dashboard. And hey, everything looks awesome, right? The stock market's through the roof, GDP is climbing, unemployment is super low. The official story says we're winning. But then you look at the other side, the human reality, and what do you see? Life satisfaction is in the gutter. Deaths of despair are at epidemic levels. We have an entire generation just buried in debt. This gap, this massive, gaping chasm between the numbers and how people actually feel, that is the first major warning sign. The alarm bells are ringing loud and clear.
So how? How on earth did we get to this point? A point where the official story feels like a fairy tale, but the reality for so many people is a nightmare. Well, it all comes down to the main tool we use to measure progress, our national scorecard, gross domestic product, or GDP. And the thing is, it's not just a little bit off. It's not just broken. It is, and I'm not being dramatic here, criminally insane. All right, Exhibit A in the case against GDP, the hurricane economy. Think about it. A massive storm rolls in and just flattens a city. It's a human tragedy, right? People lose everything. But to GDP, oh, that's fantastic news. It's a multi-billion-dollar boom. See, the actual destruction itself doesn't register, but all the frantic spending on rebuilding, that gets counted as massive economic growth. If you follow this logic, the absolute best thing we could do for the economy is just bulldoze and rebuild our cities every single year. It's completely absurd.
Or how about this one, Exhibit B, the cancer boom. A perfectly healthy person? You're not really doing much for the healthcare economy, are you? But God forbid you get a serious cancer diagnosis. Well, for GDP, that's like hitting the jackpot. All the tests, the surgeries, the treatments, it all generates a huge amount of economic activity. And this is the really twisted part. Our system is structurally designed to profit from managing sickness, not from creating health. Prevention, keeping people healthy in the first place, is actually bad for business. It's an economic loss.
And if you thought that was wild, get this. Exhibit C, the divorce industrial complex. A happy, stable family? Pretty much worthless to GDP. But the moment that family breaks apart, ka-ching, the economy lights up. Suddenly you have two households buying two of everything instead of one. You've got lawyers getting paid, therapists. All of this pain and heartbreak gets recorded on the national ledger as a big win. It's just nuts. So this is the ultimate paradox, right? Take something like Wikipedia. The value it's provided to human knowledge is, it's incalculable. Trillions of dollars, easily. But its contribution to GDP? It's negative. A big SAT minus sign. Why? Because it completely destroyed the paid encyclopedia industry. We have literally built a dashboard where one of the greatest public goods in human history shows up as an economic catastrophe. That's how broken our compass is. Okay, so we've established our main metric is garbage. What now? How do we fix this? The answer isn't to just tinker with the old system. No, we have to throw the whole thing out and start fresh. We have to go way deeper, down to the fundamental laws of physics, to find a new way of thinking about what value even is and how it's actually created. And it all starts with this one powerful concept, entropy. It comes from the second law of thermodynamics, and it's brutally simple. It just says that everything, left to itself, falls apart. Every organized system, every single thing, just decays into chaos over time. It's the universe's default setting. It's like a cosmic tax on just existing. And for centuries, the entire field of economics just completely ignored it. So, if everything is always falling apart, how does anything ever get built? How is any value ever created? Well, there's a famous thought experiment about a tiny intelligent demon. Imagine it's guarding a little door inside a box of chaotic gas molecules. All the demon does is intelligently sort them. It lets the fast, hot molecules go one way and the slow, cold ones go the other. By doing this, it creates order from chaos. It creates a temperature difference which can be used to do work. That right there is the secret to all economic value. Every entrepreneur, every new company is just a complex version of this demon, creating a small pocket of order in the chaos of the market. But, and this is a huge but, there's a catch. That act of sorting, of applying intelligence, isn't free. It has a real, physical, unavoidable cost. Thinking takes energy. So profit isn't just some magical number on a spreadsheet. It's the temporary surplus of order that an intelligent agent, a person, a company, creates before the universe's tax, the physical cost of its own thinking, catches up. So with this new foundation built on actual physics, we can finally build a new compass. We can finally ditch that dashboard for insanity and create a set of metrics that actually measures the real health and vitality of a society. And here it is. It's called the Mind Dashboard. Instead of just one broken number, it tracks 4 interdependent types of capital. You have M for material capital, that's our organized resources, our stuff. I is for intelligence capital, our collective knowledge and ability to solve problems. N is for network capital, and this one is huge. It's the trust and relationships that allow society to even function. And finally, D is for diversity capital, the variety of options we have, which is basically our insurance policy against an uncertain future. Now, the most important part of this whole framework is that little multiplication sign. These 4 capitals don't just add up, they multiply. And why is that so critical? Because in multiplication, if any one of your numbers is 0, what's the final answer? It's 0. Total system failure. It doesn't matter how high the other numbers are. This forces a system to maintain balance. Just think of the Soviet Union. They had massive material and intelligence capital, but their network capital, trust, and their diversity were basically at 0. The math was unforgiving. It collapsed. What's really cool about this way of thinking is that it shows how all those old economic battles, capitalism versus communism and all that, were kind of missing the point. It's like that old story of the blind scholars and the elephant. Each one was touching a different part and was right about what they felt, but they were all wrong about the whole animal. Adam Smith described what we can call gradient flow, your basic competitive exchange, like buying a coffee. Karl Marx saw circular flow, self-reinforcing loops, like how sharing an idea makes it more valuable for everyone. And Friedrich Hayek focused on harmonic flow, the deep, invisible structures of trust and language that let everything else happen. A healthy economy isn't about choosing one, it's about making sure all 3 of these rivers of value are flowing freely. And all of this brings us to the final, critical question. For all of human history, our purpose was tied to our work, our function as intelligent sorters in the economy. But we have now built machines that can do that job infinitely better and cheaper than we ever could. So this isn't just an economic challenge anymore, it's an existential one. We built the machines to do the work. Now we have to figure out why we are here. For the very first time, we have to decide what a human being is actually for.